Just relax and calm yourself down now as you find a place to settle yourself down and feel very much at home and very much comfortable. Allow yourself to stretch out, allow yourself to feel good, allow yourself to feel comfortable. Notice that the relaxation is coming more quickly to you now. Notice that as you just move your mind in the direction of your peace and your peace zone, this relaxation and this calmness is beginning to be a little stronger and beginning to be a little bit more automatic for you. And as you use that word you've chosen just to remind you of the calmness and the peace and the serenity that live inside your own mind and that you can draw forth at any time, your peace and your calmness are just going to grow stronger even right now, this very minute. And this peace and this calmness are just something that you're accepting. You're not fighting or concentrating or battling or struggling. You're just laying back very nicely, loosely, letting all the tension go from your muscle groups and just accepting your peace and your calmness and your tranquility, these very good and positive emotions that belong to you right now. And these positive, peaceful emotions just flow throughout your body and flow throughout your mind, and it's very natural, it's a very gentle process, but yet one that is extremely powerful and extremely strong. And you just enjoy this right now. You just revel in this right now. This peace is very, very strong and is growing stronger every day. Many of us who have had anxiety, no matter what kind of anxiety it is, have events and situations in our past that have been negative, that have been disappointing, that have been embarrassing, that have been humiliating. We have scenes that sometimes enter our mind that we're not going to focus on now, but we have things that have happened in our past, especially when we were younger, that because they were so very emotionally charged, they were so very negative and so very powerful, that they had an easy time of reaching down into our emotional brain and setting up things in our life that we really do not want to have, that we really have turned our back on, that we really have rejected. But these things found a home in our brain, and many times we were unable to release them, to let them go, because we felt we couldn't get things out. We felt we had to hold things inside, and we felt that if we said something we would get in trouble. And so as a result, we've held things back, we've forced things down inside ourselves, we've hidden the negative emotions because we didn't know any better and we weren't able at the time to operate at any different level. None of this is our fault. None of this is something that we chose. None of this is something that we would choose for other people either. Nevertheless, there are some things that we have bottled up, many things that have frustrated us and made us angry and made us anxious, and that cover the whole gamut of the negative emotional scale. And what we want to do right now is release and set free all the negative emotions from the past. You're never going to be able to forget what happened in the past, but as you are going to find out, that's not really important. What we want to do is release the emotion, the negative emotion that goes along with those negative events from the past. And we do not want to dig at them. We do not want to even remember them. We want to exist right now in our peace and in our calmness and in our positive strength. And as we exist in our peace and let this peace flow through us, it just becomes easier for us to say, let that old stuff go. Let that old junk that just tries to hold us back in the present, let it go. I release it. I set it free. I don't want it. I give permission to my brain to allow the process to continue, whether I'm awake or whether I'm asleep, to let that old garbage go. And as you just lean back farther into that chair or couch, and as you just accept further this nice, wonderful calmness and peace that envelops you right now, you're just continuing to allow your mind and your brain to release and set free all of the old negative emotional garbage from the past. We don't need to do this one by one. You don't need to remember a thing. Your thoughts need to be focused on the present. Your thoughts need to be focused on today. Your thoughts need to be focused on your peace and on your calmness and on your confidence. At the same time, we are just going to allow our mind and our brain just to uncork that pressure cooker and allow the negative emotions, any kind of negative emotions in the past, just to disappear, to go away, to leave us. We deliberately set them free and let them go. We deliberately turn our back on that direction. We deliberately choose to live in the present, and we allow our mind and our brain just to go ahead and release all that bottled up negative energy, all that bottled up negative anger, all that bottled up negative emotion, anxiety, irritation, frustration. And we release it, we let it go, we set it free. We don't want it to trip us up in the present. We don't want it to hold us back in the present day. So we choose to let that negative emotional garbage go. It was all a bunch of lies anyway. It wasn't the truth anyway. And we just say good riddance, goodbye, and allow our mind to process this and send it off so that we're no longer bothered by the emotional feelings of the past. We don't have to go back and revisit anything whatsoever. And we're just not going to be pulled back into that negative emotional vortex any longer. All of these things that have been placed into our mind, all of these negative things that we may have experienced in our life, have been set free. They've been released, and they have no choice but to go. Your mind is going to see to that. They have no choice. They must go. And as you let go of the negative past, you're embracing the positive and the healing present and the positive and the healing future. I accept myself for who I am. I I don't need to make any excuses. I just accept myself now for who I am. I make mistakes, so does everyone else, but I accept myself so that I can move ahead, so that I can make progress, so that I can enjoy the kind of life I want to live. I have many good and creative talents that I can use to help myself and other people. That old emotional negative baggage of the past can only drag me down, so I reject it. I turn my